Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the third episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on whether or not we think it was a mistake to promote Season 9 as Rick's final episodes. And spoiler warning, if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to the second episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. So we just have a couple episodes left here to the big episode 5 as we march ever closer week by week. 2 weeks left, and then basically we're getting ready for that episode, and that one is going to be probably one of the most memorable episodes of the series, one of the most controversial episodes of the series, one of the defining episodes of the series looking back on it. So let's see how this whole thing goes. Certainly you guys can leave me your comments just to let me know how you're feeling about this one right now. But the strangest thing that happened this year, so let's just rewind back to May after The Walking Dead Season 8 had ended, and we started to hear a little bit of news about The Walking Dead Season 9. First, we had heard that Lauren Cohen might be leaving because she had some other roles, and there was contract negotiations and stuff like this. And then after that, we ended up finding out that actually, Andrew Lincoln would be leaving. And of course, most of us for about a month were like not believing it. We were in disbelief. We're thinking like, there's no way they're going to have, The Walking Dead continue without Rick. There's no way they could let it happen. That Rick would leave and that we would have a Walking Dead, a Rickless Walking Dead, right? And then as we were going through, we got close to the Comic-Con time where they showed the trailer, and we kind of, we were all talking about it, and I basically had said that, can you imagine if they actually promoted the season as like Rick's final episodes or Rick's death or, this kind of thing, then everybody would basically have to watch it because everybody would want to see, Rick's final episodes. But apparently, that doesn't seem to be the case, right? Apparently, that doesn't seem to have worked. All the promotion, and it's different. This is the thing. The reason why I want to do this video today is because recently, during the episodes, before the episodes, they've been promoting commercials on AMC, so on the actual TV station, as Rick's final episodes. Now, it's one thing if you're going to promote it on the internet, you're going to promote it online, because there's only maybe, let's say 5% or a couple percent of people that actually enjoy the series enough to Google it, right, each year, that are going to Google it, they're going to watch the trailer online, they're going to do all that stuff. The rest of the viewers, 95% or whatever it would be, something like that, are going to watch it on the station. So they're just going to go watch the station. They're not going to look it up online. That's more for us hardcore fans that are going to do that. Your average viewer is not going to do that. But recently, we've been starting to see these commercials on the actual station itself where they're basically running the same kind of promos that they're showing through their channel, their AMC channel, on the network, on the station itself, so that your casual viewers are starting to hear like, what, like Rick's final episodes? Like what? Because they don't know about all this inside stuff that we have known since May, right? Or around that time. So this one is really crazy. And the craziest thing about it is that the fact that they've been promoting it as Rick's final episodes, and I almost want to call it like the ultimate backfire, because if you look at the premiere episode, it was the lowest rated premiere of the entire series, aside from the initial pilot episode of the series. The bridge, we now have the ratings in for the bridge, and I don't want to just, focus on ratings all the time, that kind of thing. It's annoying, right? I get it. It's annoying for me to even say it to you guys. It's annoying for you guys to hear it, but it is the second lowest rated episode of the series. It's only higher than Guts. So out of every episode of the series, The Bridge, episode 2, and a lot of you guys liked it. I'm not saying it's a bad episode because of that. That speaks more probably to the premiere and how many people were excited to come back the next week after seeing the premiere episode than it does The Bridge itself. It was under 5 million viewers for that episode. It was at 4.95 US viewers, which is the second lowest rated episode The Walking Dead has ever had. It's season 1 levels, which is crazy because season 1, people didn't even know what The Walking Dead was going to be. It was basically like an Image comic, which is not even Marvel or DC, so it had a fan base. The comic was doing well, and it's really good, so it had a good fan base for Image, but this isn't like Captain America or something where it's like or Batman from DC Comics, where you're going to have a show and all these people are going to want to see it because it's a well-known character. It's kind of a niche audience from Image that it started with, and people who were really into either liked AMC or were really into zombie apocalypse stuff that couldn't wait to see it, right? So the fact that it's kind of at those same kind of levels as the beginning, at least one takeaway from it, I think, is the promotion for this year, even though they try to use, Rick's final episodes, this kind of thing, as it's almost like it totally backfired. It was like a season 8 finale, Eugene backfire, just blowing everybody apart, blowing their hands off and stuff. Because if you think about it, like, they're promoting it like this, and we're seeing the lowest. So it's like people don't want to see it, right? I think that's the message, is that you can promote it as something big happening that people got to tune in to see, and it does sound like that. But nobody wanted, I think this year, nobody wanted that, right? Nobody wanted to see Rick leave. Nobody wanted to hear that it's going to be Rick's final episodes and Rick's going to be killed off. It's not the type of news, I guess, that you can, it's like a shock value type of thing. Like you can have in the episode, you can do it through. It's probably not going to benefit the series at all, I wouldn't think, but we'll see. You never know, right? You never predict how these things are going to go, clearly, because as they use that to promote the season, it just, people were like, what? These are going to be Rick's final episodes? Okay, I'm done. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even going to watch. Forget it. It sounds like it's dead. I'm out. I don't even want to see that, right? So it's kind of like you promoted it based on something people didn't want to see, and then it's just like, that's what it is, right? I wonder if they would have promoted it as maybe like Whispers or something else, if it would have done better, or if it's just the amount of time the series has been on for, or if, like a lot of people say, that a lot of people left during season 7 and 8 because a lot of people think they're really bad. So, and that's why people didn't come back for season 9. But it's pretty crazy. I never would have expected it. I wasn't saying that on purpose. I guess it'd be like a little bit of reverse psychology. Like, they won't do this, they'll never do this, and then they did it. it's like what? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna actually, not only are they gonna acknowledge it, but they're gonna use it to promote it, not even online, but also on the station itself. And that, just to me, it's really crazy to hear that they did that. And based on what we're seeing so far, it certainly does not look like it has helped, hype up the season for your casual fans. It really looks like people are like, oh man, I want to see that. What, Rick's dying? Okay, I'm out. I'm done. Right? Like, back to season 1 levels. Oh man. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that maybe that has hurt the season, or do you think, no, Trev, that's got nothing to do with it? It's just the series has been on for so long, or no, Trev, that has nothing to do with it. It's because season 8 sucks so bad that only this many people are even going to come back to watch it at this point. But that said, and again, I also want to make it clear too, because I know people from sites take this and stuff like that, and they I don't know, they write articles based on comicbook.com and stuff like that. It's like, ratings don't matter, this doesn't matter, it's going to be deceiving and all this stuff. That's not really what we're saying here. I'm not saying that it's all, like The Walking Dead is going to die next week or something and be canceled, right? No, that's not what we're saying. But what we're basically looking at it as is a comparison season to season to see how many people are interested in the series and what's working for them. And yes, I'm well aware that people are DVRing stuff, and that, of course, there's international viewership, and that people can watch it online. People can watch it early on AMC's, premiere service, subscription service, and all that. So I'm well aware of all these different factors that come into play. And we're just speculating. We're just saying what we think. So certainly say what you think. Leave a comment below. I don't think it's easy to say if there's a right or wrong here. Did the season become more hype for you once you found out it was Rick's last year? Or are you one of the ones that decided, like, I'm not even going to watch because I don't even want to see that, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comments below about that one. I just thought it was interesting to start with. Hugh Anus says, Trev, which heads will end up on pikes? So this is a comic book moment when the Whisperers start to be introduced, which will probably be adapted in the second half of this season. Probably not the first half, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But they do kill a good number of survivors, to kind of get things started off, and as they're trying to intimidate and I guess mark their border and show Rick and the others that they're alpha, right, or they're the bosses, they're more powerful than the joint surviving communities are. So, with that one, I'm sure it'll be adapted some way in the TV series, and I'm sure there'll be some people there, like there'll be some of the survivors there that we know of and we see, but the thing about it is, with this season in the TV series, it has to be much different than the comics. In the comics, there was like a few characters, like 2 or 3, 2 in particular that I remember off the top of my head that were huge characters, like A-lister or a B-lister, depending on how you want to look at it, from the comics, were killed by the Whisperers during this pike scene where they marked their border. In the TV series, I'd have to say I think it's got to be different. I really do. I think it has to be different. It can't be the same because you have Rick leaving, and you have, of course, Maggie, who maybe will come back next year, but let's not say it's guaranteed because again, you don't know the future. Nothing's guaranteed, especially when people leave for a different job or something. There's no guarantees they're going to come back for sure. Even though we'd like to see it, we can't say for sure. I don't think even after some comments and interviews are made and such. But it's got to be different in the TV series, and I just feel like right now the series is going to be so shifted around. There's going to be so much just things that are going to be so different without Rick and without the others. I'm sure they'll do it, and we could probably do a predictions video based on that when we get closer to it. But I feel like we have to get over this episode 5 first. Like, we got to see how this whole thing is going to go, how the whole series is going to be shifted around, and just what this looks like after that's done. Like, after that happens, what this looks like, because it's really crazy, man, to hear about all the changes that are going to be happening with Walking Dead. And obviously, you don't need to include, that's the biggest character death ever. If you kill Rick off this year, that's the biggest character death you could ever imagine. So people still have fingers crossed for a helicopter save or something. I think as time got closer here, most of us lost hope that was a possibility. We'll see. But yeah, man, for future death predictions, it's like, I feel like we got to get through these few episodes here before we can really, go further. Our Paras34 said, I truly hope Jadis or Anne's head ends up on a pike by the Whispers. So it doesn't like Jadis, doesn't like Anne. Well, she could be one of the ones that is. She's been in there for a couple years now, right? A couple seasons. But, she's kind of been a villain, an ally at times, and then kind of back and forth. So she's been pretty wishy-washy. So, but of course, she's got that relationship going with Gabriel now. So we'll see if they would do that. But, maybe it makes sense to have her be one of them. Again, you got to use some, like, maybe you put her as a B-lister right now. I wouldn't say A-lister, because she's not on the same level as Rick or Michonne or some of these others. But she's up there pretty good. Same with Gabriel, right? Like B, C, this type of thing. You got to have a few of those, and then probably most of them will probably be red shirts or just like random people, right? So Carl says, Daryl and Maggie stumble across a few of the Oceanside ladies holding Arat at gunpoint. And then some other predictions here. So a lot of people think that the Oceanside girls are the ones who are responsible for killing some of the saviors that are being picked off here. And we could certainly see that. If you think about it too, even though Rick kind of brought all the communities together, the saviors did wipe out all the Oceanside's men. All of them. They killed everybody. So they killed husbands, they killed, probably family, brothers and fathers and all this stuff. So is that something that you'd be able to just set aside, and just not worry about it? Probably not. So, and if that does happen, and they are the ones who end up, being guilty of doing this, of killing all these different saviors that keep going missing, man, I mean, what are Rick and the others going to do? Like, how are they going to punish them? This whole thing, like, what are they going to do, right? So it brings in the idea of people taking the law into their own hands and doing stuff like that in these communities, and them all being on the same side. So it's all, it's a cluster F, right? After the war. It's difficult. And sometimes if you look at wars, sometimes one can bleed into the other. If you look at like World War I and then World War II and what happened with that, it's kind of like, the Treaty of Versailles and everything. It's sort of like the ramifications of the First World War, basically crushed Germany. And out of that, Hitler came to power. And then basically you go right into World War II. So it was like, one war can sometimes lead into another. because it's difficult to resolve these things after all the bloodshed. People don't forgive so easily. So yeah, man, for sure. Richard Hayes says, why keep the saviors around? Just kill them. So yeah, I just kill them all. Well, the thing about it is, man, I mean, people are a resource, right? So that's brutal if you go that way. Then you got to basically wipe them all out. And Rick and the others are not like that. That's not their MO. That might be something that well, they have wiped out, numbers of saviors when the war was going on or when it was leading up to the war. But would they kill a bunch of defenseless saviors? And, I don't think so, man. They want to try to basically bring everybody together, get everybody working and building stronger joint communities. And from Rick's perspective, that's doable and something that could be achievable. Maybe from some of these others, it's not, like Daryl, right? Brian Atcham says it was Jed, so he thinks that maybe Jed could be killing some of the saviors on his own in order to stir up some shit. So we'll see. But I tend to think it's probably not him, but we'll see. Giuseppe De Rosa says, do you think someone will attempt to kill Negan after Rick is gone? So that's a good point. If Maggie was there, you can definitely bet that she would, I guarantee you, she would try to kill Negan, right? Absolutely guaranteed 100%. You wouldn't be able to hold her back no matter what. If Rick wasn't kind of protecting him or keeping him alive there for his own kind of selfish, or maybe as an example to teach the others of the right way to go, right? But Maggie is not following that, as we saw with Gregory. So, yeah, so there'll probably be some attempts on Negan's life. I think that's pretty much guaranteed. Ray Blair says, Trev, Rosita hasn't had much showtime besides looking good in the last episode. Do you think she will die this season? I forget what I said because I did a prediction for Ezekiel and Rosita. I did a whole video on that one. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I said no, and I still kind of feel that way. Even though she hasn't been right at the forefront, there's so many characters. I mean, there's so many characters right now. She doesn't need to be. I don't think she'll be killed off this season, no. But I could be wrong. We'll see. Austin Adams says, is it too early for the annual Where is Heath question? It's probably not too early, but the whole thing with Heath is like, I personally don't even care anymore. We had the Morales situation. They brought him back eventually. For Heath, it's like, I don't care if they bring him back or not. If he's not with the Whisperers when they're first introduced, and he probably won't be, then I don't care for them to ever bring him back, to be honest with you. I mean, the actor's gone on to bigger and better things for him in his career, so it's what it is. And no, I don't expect to see Heath back. And to be honest, I don't really care. With all the changes to the series and everything else that's going on, it's not top of mind. It's not something I think that really matters right now, considering everything else that's happening. Andrew Adams, AMC Vlog, says, when Rick dies, Michonne will possibly take Rick's place, being the leader of Alexandria. And that's possible, too. Some people like Aaron for it. Some people like Michonne. Probably in the beginning, it'd probably be Michonne. And then, later on, maybe you switch it to Aaron or you do something like that. So that could be as well. And that'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please don't forget to thumb it up below. Please like it. You can share it. You can favorite it. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. And you could do it. You could subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon.